I don't know how to start a video. If you're here for the first time, then hello. My name is Anna and I am from Poland. And this video is about my ischemic stroke that I suffered from the 15th of August last year. The reason I make this video is to explain what happened in the past, over the past half a year. And the reason I make this video in English is that all my previous videos are in English. Also that for an English student, I will never pass the fear of speaking in English due to aphasia, but let's start at the beginning. A month after my 27th birthday, I went to Belgium.
Please continue.
To visit my, let's start at the beginning. A month after my 27th birthday, I went to Belgium to visit my boyfriend. We lay in bed. It was a Saturday morning. Suddenly my head began to hurt on the left side, and it was a terrible pain. It was stabbing from the front and until the middle of skull. I remember that I muttered something in Polish, something that didn't even make sense, and suddenly it came the twitch, the cramp of the right foot and the right leg, and it was so strong that I started hit my leg with my hand and screamed. There was another cramp, another, until the whole right side was paralyzed. It lasted maybe a minute or so. My face was crooked to the left, but I didn't know about that. And I had the impression I do not see with the right eye. My boyfriend kept asking me what happened, thought this all was a joke, but in the end he stood up and called the ambulance. I remember I wanted to turn around or to stand up. It wasn't possible. I had no feeling in the right hand or leg. The ambulance arrived, the doctor was asking me what happened. He speak very clearly, very loudly. He was measuring my blood pressure. He was giving injections. I remember I heard it and I understood it, but I could not answer. I was not able to gather my thoughts and to produce a sound. I felt like I was drifting away. And they were checking whether I have the feeling on my right leg and my right arm, and I had the feeling, but I couldn't move, so I stopped them with my left hand. They put an oxygen mask, carried me through the window in the bathroom. The fire brigade came and made the necessary construction outside the house. During the whole day, I remember I vomited several times. I had a different clinical tests like CT scan, MRI scan. Is that a scan? The MRI I don't remember because I was dated, because I am claustrophobic. I did not know when
If you don't mind pausing for the interpreter. Please continue.
Transported me to the intensive care. Could not drink, nor eat, nor... I was under the drip. I had a swollen right and left hand from the needles. In intensive care at night, I remember I had a very painful leg cramps every minute or two. It was horrible. I wanted to tell the nurse, but I could not. My brain behaved strangely, record everything, but as if it were in a mess. I can't describe it really. Later in the hospital, like a week later, I wanted to read a book that my boyfriend gave me. I couldn't remember the beginning of the sentence. I wanted to write with my left hand because normally I am right-handed person. I know what I meant, but like in my head, I know what I meant, but the letters make no sense. The boyfriend told me what had happened. It turned out that I had ischemic stroke of the left side of the brain caused by a sudden stop of blood supply. The sudden stop.
If you don't mind pausing for the interpreter. Please continue.
Blood supply made my right side of the body paralyzed and I couldn't speak, which was an aphasia, is a language function disorder. Next month I spent wheelchair. I could not wash myself and get dressed and comb my hair or even go to the toilet, and I was wearing a diaper. It was horrible. The strangest feeling when you realize that you have the control only half of the body. You don't even realize how much you need both hands, or even to open the bottle, the open yogurt, or to write on a cell phone. Not to mention other things. So I was in another country, away from my family, unable to speak, unable to move half of my body. I had the
If you
care
don't mind repeating that last listing, thank you.
So I was in another country, away from my family, unable to speak, unable to move half of my body. I had the care of rehabilitants and speech therapists who did. Then I was moved to the rehabilitation ward, where I was lying with the nicest Flemish lady who unfortunately doesn't speak English. I was the youngest patient there. The routine of my day was like this. At 7, there was nurses coming to wash me, dress me up, comb my hair. At 8 there was breakfast. At 8:30 the guy came to take me on a wheelchair for the kinesiotherapy. At 11:30 there was lunch. After lunch I slept an hour and a half for 2 hours. At 3 there was the tea, and then I went to occupational therapy, speech therapy in English, of course. At 5:30 there was dinner or supper. At around 6 my boyfriend came. The rehabilitation went faster. I mean, because the regular age for having a stroke is the 55 plus. I'll display the pictures and videos somewhere here. Like I mentioned before, I had a feeling in my arm and leg, but I wasn't able to move them. So the first question on my mind was, will I ever be able to move them? After the first week, I was able to move with my thumb. I was overjoyed with the feeling, and I couldn't tell it to my boyfriend because I couldn't speak. After 2 weeks, I could slowly move with my fingers. On the 5th of September, my mother and my friend flew to Belgium to visit me in the hospital. It turned around that my Polish speaking was better than my English speaking, like 20% English and 40% Polish. I was still on a wheelchair, but I could stand. Then they left. It was then when I finally realized what happened to me, and what will happen to me when I will go to Poland. After a month, I was able to comb my wet hair in a braid. I posted on Instagram the picture of it with an explanation. At first I said that the rehabilitation went faster. What I mean is to compare to older people. There was a lady, but she was around 70 years old, and she had been in the hospital since March, and it was September, and she made very little progress. And on speech therapy, Judith told me that the rehabilitants often tell the patient when they are making progress, "Wow, you're doing great." The truth is that for the patient, in comparison to what was previously before the disease, they're not doing so well. And there I was doing great, recovery faster than anyone I met. Even the doctors were so surprised, and my boyfriend who was there with me all this time. 9th of October, the article in a regional paper in Poland showed out about me because the foundation Rude dla Życia decided to help me. A paralyzed girl wants to go home. We have to help her, and so on. First, my family situation was difficult, especially financially, even before I had a stroke, which I never mention here in videos. Second, the rehabilitation after the stroke should be pushed for the first half of the year, and because there is so much progress, so much chance to progress, and then to a year. So I needed help even though I didn't want to admit it. My friend Wojtek started the Facebook event called We're Helping Anya to Get Back Home. My friend Anna and the people from foundation went to the radio and the people donated some money. I don't know how to talk about it. In October, during my hospital stay in Belgium, my father died. I never say this in any of the videos, but my father for a very long time wasn't close to me. We didn't speak for over 10 years, and he was still living with us for 5 of those years, so I was talking with my mother about that article in the newspaper, and she said he saw it. He sat and cried, and the next day I received the news about the death, and I cried. I miss his funeral because I was in Belgium. It went well, the rehabilitation, I mean, after 100 and more than 100 days on rehabilitation, I could move my fingers, I could walk, go slowly, I write with my right hand, I can comb my hair, and on December the 7th, I got back to Poland by plane. It was the rehabilitants, especially Siska and the 2 of her students, but the whole team of rehabilitants.
If you don't mind repeating what you said before landing in Poland, thank you.
Back to Poland by plane. It was the rehabilitants, especially Siska and the 2 of her students, but the whole team of rehabilitants, the speech therapists, doctors, the nurses, they all helped me going from paralyzed girl on a wheelchair who couldn't speak to walk again, talk again, and after I boarded the plane, I started crying. I don't know why. I guess it was from all the emotion. After I came, I was on regional television. After I came back, I went to the neurologist and I cried again. I cried when the rehabilitant came to me from the first time. I cried at the cardiologist. I was really down. It pushed me to the ground, and it wasn't even that wrong with the situation in comparison to 4 months ago. The difference in hospital in Belgium and Poland is so big. If you are working or you are registered as unemployed and you are insured, in Poland, everything is free, the whole medical care, like hospital stay, the meds are funded, but it generates queues. For rehabilitation, I would have to wait for 9 months or a year. In Belgium, however, the patient participates in the medical cost. My whole stay for the hospital in Belgium cost around 2,000 euro, which may not be as much for a Western European, which is around 9,000 zloty, which is a whole effing lot for me. I work in a big company, 550 people. My friend and manager collected the money, and my family and friends.
Pausing for the interpreter and going back to discuss the Poland currency.
As much for a Western European, which is around 9,000 zloty, which is a whole effing lot for me. I work in a big company, 550 people. My friend and manager collected the money, and my family and friends helped me paying this. The foundation Rooted dla Życia secured me with rehabilitation every day for some time. So I will never find words to those who took care of me, especially my boyfriend. I can't speak. Especially my boyfriend and his family, my friends, maybe even a complete strangers who are watching this. To those who gave money on my health, accept big thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Everybody asks me if I am already okay after having an ischemic stroke. I'm doing well. I'm having my rehabilitation every day. Thanks to the foundation. It gets better little by little, but it's far from okay. It's tough, and I know that I'm not the one to complain about it, that everybody has it hard from different reasons. You only have one life. Sometimes you just need to cry it out. So I've been given another 6 months at the doctor's committee in Polish social insurance to get a chance to full recovery. If you want to help, the way of helping it listed in the description box. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments, as well as you can ask me on Facebook or Twitter. Thank you.